Greetings, brothers. Today it's the 2023 Arcs of Omen Balanced Data Slate and point changes. So we're going to be jumping straight into what's changed for Blood Angels, what's notable, and just basically what's changed since the last Balanced Data Slate. So let's get right into it. Right, we're going to start with the balanced data slate, and I think the most important thing to note is at the top of the balanced data slate, I pulled the old one up as well, there was a section about Armour of Contempt that is completely gone. It does not exist. There is no Armour of Contempt anymore. That's the rumours that we've been hearing. We've got a change to the doctrines that unfortunately doesn't help Blood Angels in any way, shape or form. Basically, it means that now players have flexibility on when they want to move from Devastator down to Tactical down to Assault. However, there's no way for us to get to Assault Doctrine earlier, so we're still basically limited to having to take a Sanguinary Priest unless you don't want Assault Doctor in turn 1 and 2, and I generally don't advise that because the power we get from Assault Doctor is actually crazy. When I did the math on the damage for the Death Company a few weeks back, I can put that video up above, the buff we get from Assault Doctrine is the most devastating, most large buff we can get. It's better than Chapter Master rerolls, it's better than Exploding Sixes, it's crazy, so unfortunately we still can't get there in turn 3. The other thing that they have changed is basically at the end of your command phase, if any Adeptus Astartes troops unit, so this will mean that even though the new detachment kind of says you don't need troops, troops are going to have a very good ability because basically they get to move off objectives and you still control them unless your opponent ever controls them in the subsequent phase. Now we have that on a couple of maps currently where like if you control an objective with a troop unit you can now move off. However, that's just going to stick for all Marines. So I guess like at the start of the game in your backfield, if you control an objective with troops, you're very much free to leave the backfield later in the game. If if they've got nothing that can deep strike down, they've got nothing that can pressure that, you don't need to leave that troop unit in the backfield. So that's a decent change for Marines. The change, or the lack of Armour of Contempt, is going to be interesting. And that's why we're going to get into points costs next. So I'll put a link to both these documents in this video description, so if you want to grab it and get straight into it, you can. Let's scroll down and check out Space Marines. And I do have on my other screen some of these other units. So from now on, they've actually put changes in red, which is kind of nice because they haven't done that before. So people have been asking this. So a Thunderhammer on a Jump Captain typically cost, it was a melee weapon, so it would have cost 20 points. So if you take a Smash Captain, they've gone down 10 points. The Captain in Gravis Armor, and they've said he's 105 points, so that looks like he has dropped as well. Captain in Gravis Armor, I cannot find him. He's not a Primaris Captain, he is a Captain in Gravis Armor. Was he added later? Interesting. I don't... Captain in Gravis Armor. Was he... Oh no, he must be here. Captain in Gravis Armor. Sorry, I found him. Okay, so he's 115 points. So 10 points. So Thunderhammer Captain down 10 points. The Gravis Captain down 10 points. Captain in Phobos Armor. I mean, no one runs Captain in Phobos Armor for Blood Angels, but... I guess we can check. Captain in Phobos Armor was 95, so again, 10 points down. Captain in Terminator Armor, I think there's no change there. Just the Thunderhammer is now just 5 points. Captain in Terminator Armor, his Thunderhammer used to cost 15. So again, all the Thunderhammers have come down 10 points so far. Captain on a Bike, his Thunderhammer has come down 10 points. Nice, because I love the Captain on a Bike. Captain with the Master Crafted Heavy Bolt Rifle, down 10 points again. A regular Chaplain. Oh, I mean, that's cool. Regular Chaplain, down 10 points. Chaplain in Terminator Armor, I think that's down 15 points. I could be wrong. Chaplain in Terminator Armor, it's been a while since I ran one. No, just 10 points again. Regular Librarian, down 10 points, I think. Yep. Librarian in Phobos, down 10. Librarian in Terminator, down 10. And then a regular Lieutenant, no change, but his Thunderhammer is just 10 points. And we don't see much action of that. Lieutenant in Phobos is down 10. Lieutenant in Reaver Armor, geez, 65 points for Lieutenant in Reaver Armor, that seems quite cheap. But yeah, down 10. Primaris Captain, down to 80. Which is indeed down 10. I'm trying to think, down 10 on most of these units, it's strange because it's not like some of these guys are more expensive and some of them are less expensive, but they're all just down 10, so it's not like a uniform reduction. Primaris Chaplain, he's down 10. Primaris Librarian, down 10. Primaris Lieutenant. The Primaris Lieutenant might be interesting because you get that Primaris Lieutenant with the one that came in the one that came in it's right behind me, but of course I've got my green screen behind me. It's Indomitus, the one that has the Storm Shield and the Neo Volkite pistol, so he would be down to 90 points. No, he would be down to 80 points now. Okay, so Primaris Lieutenant coming down 10 as well. So an 80-point model, toughness 4, 5 wounds. And he's got that Storm Shield, which I guess are going to be valuable now with no Armour of Contempt. We're going to see a return of Storm Shields. Primaris Tech Marine is down 10 from 80 to 70. Regular Tech Marine didn't get. Harsh. Regular Tech Marine is way worse. For some reason, regular Tech Marine did not get any love. Ouch. Sucks to have the regular Tech Marine. I don't recommend the regular one because the Primaris one is... He was better before for the 10 points more, so he's just miles ahead. If you want to run a Tech Marine now and you've got regular ones, you need to buy Primaris ones. Okay. I mean, I guess we know that Games Workshop are pushing Primaris models. There's not much to say about that. Alright, let's see what's changed here. Chapter... We can't run a Chapter Ancient as a Blood Angel. Alright, but regardless... So I won't mention this because nothing will have changed. Chapter Champion. He used to be 15, he's now 10. Chapter Master used to be 40, he's now 35. So our Chapter Master on a bike with a Thunderhammer has gone from 165 points to 150. I mean, that's cool. Our Chief Librarian, finally he's gone down 5 points. Sorry, did I say Chief Librarian? I meant Chief Apothecary. He's gone down 5 points. Chief Librarian. He's gone down 5 points. Master of Sanctity. He's gone down 5 points. And Master of the Forge for the Tech Marine, that's actually really good in the Tech Marine. It's gone down 5 as well. So if you're taking a Master of the Forge Tech Marine, you're down to 85 points from 100. That's going to help some of the shooting armies. And if you wanted to run like 2 Dreadnoughts as Blood Angels, that's also going to be... That's kind of viable. It's kind of cool. Okay, Assault Intercessors. I've been saying this for a while. Okay, so I said that the troops needed to drop 2 points per model. I thought they needed to keep Armour of Contempt, but sometimes it's hard to see the overall picture because I didn't think when Armour of Contempt came out, just 1 extra AP was going to make that much difference. And until everybody started running -4 weaponry, like across the board to counter Armour of Contempt, it did actually make kind of a huge difference. So maybe this will make a big difference. But anyway, Assault Intercessors are going to 17 points per model, which means like... I'm going to have to just bring up the calculator because otherwise I'm definitely going to say something that's wrong. So your 95 point squad is now down to 85. So again, it doesn't feel like there's uniformity in the changes. It just, like at the moment, it just seems like they've dropped 10 points off everything. Heavy Intercessors. I have no idea how many points Heavy Intercessors used to be because literally nobody ran them ever. I bought them, but I never run them. So they used to be 28 points per model. Holy crap. So they are down to 23. Heavy Intercessors might get some play now. That's a big drop. So Heavy Intercessors went from 28 times 5, which was 140, down to 23 times 5. 115 for Heavy Intercessors. I can see those getting some play now. Maybe I need to get them on the painting table. Incursors. Incursors, I think, were 21 points per model. They are now down to 18 points per model. So that's a 3-point... I'm just making sure that I'm right there. Yeah, it's a 3-point drop for Incursors. So Incursors used to be 115 per squad. They're now going to be 90. Alright, cool. Infiltrators. This is a big drop. I think Infiltrators used to be 24 per model. And now they're down to 20. So Infiltrators down from 120 points to 100. That's a nice drop. Infiltrators are super useful. They're going to be useful into Chaos as well. I'm fortunate that I actually painted 2 squads of these and I used to swear by them. So I think I could possibly get on board with like a squad of Infiltrators, a squad of Incursors, so that would be 190, and then this possibly just a squad of heavy intercessors. So you'd be like 305, and they're all going to be running sticky objectives. Interesting. Maybe you could just go infiltrators and heavies and have the infiltrators sit in the backfield for a little while with the ability to guerrilla tactics out later in the game, and then have the heavies pushing on into the middle of the board or something. Interesting. The heavy auto bolt rifles might be decent as well. Probably get some firepower in turn 2. Intercessors down from 20 to 18, so that's a 10-point drop for the 5-man squad. Tactical Marines got no love whatsoever. I don't know why they did this, man. Like, give the firstborn units some love. There's nothing wrong with them. People want to field them. Tacticals needed to be 15 points per model. They're gonna get no play now. They didn't get any play anyway. They're definitely gonna get no play now. This is dumb. They should have changed that. All right, aggressors. This is huge actually. So aggressors. And I might bring back aggressors because I actually kind of like them. A 6-man blob of aggressors with the bolters, I guess, used to be 45 times 6. Maybe you actually want to run them in a 5 because then you can transhuman them. So they used to be 5 times 45. So they used to be 225 points. They are now 150. So 33% decrease on aggressors there. Ancient and Terminator armor. I think that's a 10-point drop. No one really runs the Ancient and Terminator armor. Certainly not in a Blood Angels list. I was going to say maybe there's a play to run the Ancient and Terminator armor with a new detachment in that you'd be allowed to take more elites. So you could run a Terminator squad with an Ancient. It gives them +1 leadership. I mean, sure, an Ancient and Terminator armor could be 90, give him a Thunder Hammer, he's now 100, he's got toughness 4 or 5 wounds. I guess if he had the Thunder Hammer, he'd have that 1-up save and a 4-up invuln. There could be a play around there. I'm not so sure. They gave the regular Apothecary points decrease, which is strange. I mean, why ignore the Tech Marine and give the Apothecary one? Anyway, Apothecary went down 10 points. Blade Guard Ancient, I don't know anyone that runs a Blade Guard Ancient. He's a sword. Why does he not got a sword? He's literally got Blade in his name. He went down 10 points, but I still think he'll get no play. Blade Guard Veterans, I heard a rumour they were going to 30. No change on them. That's a big disappointment. I think we'll probably see some Blade Guard back because of the loss of Armour of Contempt. But I think they could have... been at 30 points, I really do. Centurion Assault Squads. Centurions. They put Centurions up in points. Wow, okay. I was not expecting that. So they made Centurions less survivable, and they put them up in points. Well, I mean, I've never been on board with running I've never run the 5 Centurions. I bought Centurions right at the beginning of the edition and ran them a bit, and I did enjoy them. But I think aggressors are going to be much better now. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they would put... The Centurions were not survivable into armies that pulled all those big -4 and stuff anyway, and this makes them even less survivable and more expensive. I don't like that. The Company Ancient, I think he's gone up in points. I think he was 55. Let me check. I wish that they'd put these in different colours, like if they were going up or down. No, okay, sorry. Company Ancient has gone down. Company Champion. Company Champion. He is an elite choice. So he's gone down 5. So he could be interesting, especially if you give him the shield. So he has the +1 to his armor save and the shield. The chapter command upgrade used to be 15. So the Company Champion went down 5, and his chapter champion upgrade went down 5. So I guess he went down 10. He's a 60-point model now. He's looking really tasty at 60 points. 2-up save, 5-up invuln, 4 wounds. He can fight first if he's in friendly with engagement of enemy characters, and he can heroic intervention on 6 on enemy characters. Company Champion didn't get that much play, even though he is cheap. I think we might see him a bit more. Company Veterans, no change to Veterans. Okay, I'm not sure why they didn't get the same love as everybody else. Again, they will have become less survivable, so they'll have become worse. Contemptor Dreadnought, I know that's gone down 10 points. Regular Dreadnought, this is discrimination against the Firstborn. There's no reason. These Dreadnoughts get no play. Literally no play. So they're going to get even less play. They made them less survivable. They didn't change the points. Tactical Warsuit is complete junk. It was 160 points. I guess it's now 140. Is it worth running? No, I don't think so. Ironclad Dreadnought, no change again. Less survivable, should have had something. The Judiciar, 10 points off. We could see some play around him anyway. Primaris Tech Marine. No, sorry, Primaris Apothecary, again, 10 points off. Blood Angels don't tend to run him. That's fine. Redemptor Dreadnoughts have become less survivable and did not go down in points. I don't know why. Redemptor's already so swingy with their plasmas. Like, you literally can't play them in tournaments, I find, because you don't want to take a weapon that is D6 shots in a tournament. If it was like 2d3, maybe, or if it was like 2 plus d3, or even if it was flat 3, it would be better than what it is at the moment. So I don't like Redemptors anymore. I bought 3 of them. And I painted them all and I magnetized them all, and I feel like I can't use them. Reavers. Okay, people are saying, like, what needs to happen to Reavers to make them competitive? They go down to 16 points per model. Actually, kind of, I think, is making them the cheapest Marines we can put on the battlefield. They do take up an elite slot, which is garbage, so it's hard to actually field them. 16 times 5. 80 points for Reavers. I wonder what's going to happen to Scouts when we get to Scouts. Obviously they can take their grav shoots and they can take their grapple launchers. And they have outflank as well if you give them the grapple launcher. So I guess maybe an 85 point squad of Reapers could do something if you have the elite choice, but I'm not so sure. Relic Terminators, they are now 33 points per model. I think that's actually an increase. No, sorry, they're down 1 point. So tiny little change. 4 or 5 Relic Terminators before were... where's my calculator gone? 34 times 5. They were 170, they are now 165. Relic Terminators are good, I think. Lightning Claws and Combi Bolters, but now I guess you could give some of them Chain Fists for nothing. There is no points costs on the Chain Fists. So maybe like a whole squad of Relic Terminators with Chain Fists for 165 points is interesting. In some ways, this is going to hurt Blood Angels, right? Because you're going to make like all these other units good, but I'm assuming that the Blood Angels actual units didn't get any decreases. Let's see. Scouts are down to 12 points per model. I think that's down from 15 or 14. Yeah. So Scouts, again, nice to see them at 60 points. Maybe they can get some play, but like I really don't know how you fit them in for a Blood Angels army just because they are elites. So Servitors didn't get any love. They are going to stay at 30 points. Sternguard Veterans didn't get any love. They're staying at 20. And your Assault Terminator squads are staying at 33. I think I've made an error here, actually. Have I made an error here? Weapons and other wargear not listed in a unit's entry cost no additional points to include in that unit. So I haven't made an error here. So Sternguard Veterans. Weapons and other wargear not listed in a unit's entry cost no additional points. Right, so Sternguard Veterans... It's strange that Company Veterans got all these costs. Sternguard Veterans, maybe that's a mistake. They have no costs. Sternguard Veterans, last time I checked, can take like... a heavy weapon, so like a multi-melta that would normally cost like 20 points. Any number can replace with special weapons, so like melta guns. I think the sergeant can take a melee weapon, so like a thunder hammer. And then I guess Terminator assault squads, if they have no cost, then our thunder hammers are now free in the Terminators. Previously, they were 10 points per model. So Terminator squads with thunder hammers just got a giant points decrease. Because they were 43 points per model, they're now 33 points per model. So assault Terminators, and Blood Angels have a very nice assault kit, just dropped 50 points. So down from like 43 times 5 to 165. 43 times 5. Down from 215. I mean, I'd still like Terminators with lightning claws, but like Thunderhammer Terminators at this point. Wow, okay, if they really are 165 points, that's crazy. Alright, regular Terminators have gone down 1 point. Man, I have a lot of Terminators, and this just sounds very good for Terminators. I guess like your assault cannon / cyclone missile launcher are going to be free. Obviously, these guys can take chain fists. This brings them sort of on a par with Relic Terminators. Because Relic Terminators, for some reason, were always a little bit cheaper. And I guess the only disadvantage of the regular Terminators is no lightning claws. Maybe I'm maybe going to get a Relic Terminator squad as well, just to add to it. Vanguard Veterans, alright. There are definitely going to be changes to Vanguard Veterans. Hopefully we're going to see them back. They were 19 points per model, so they've gone up 1 point per model. Their Thunder Hammers are 10 points. I think that's down from 12. Okay. Their Power Fists are down from 8 to 5. Lightning Claws are still 3. Storm Shields are still 5. And I guess Jump Packs are still 3. So this is actually not a buff at all. So Vanguard Veterans, like if you wanted to run 5 with Lightning Claws, before you would have been 150 points, because it would be 20 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5. They just actually now made them 155 points. That sucks. So it's a strange one. It's like the Terminators have a lot more durability with that extra wound, and arguably better saves. Like if you put a Vanguard Veteran 20 points, plus a Jump Pack 23 points, plus a Thunderhammer 33 points, plus a Storm Shield 38 points, then a Vanguard Veteran with a Storm Shield and Thunderhammer is 5 points more expensive than a Terminator with Storm Shield and Thunderhammer. I thought this patch was going to bring back Vanguard Veterans. Obviously, I have a lot. They are painted, and I like to field them. This is going to be tough to field Vanguard Veterans, I feel. You know, like, yes, they got no benefit out of Armor of Contempt, but we're at a 47, 48% win rate. Like, we have a shitty win rate. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. People can say 48% win rate is fine. We've been on a 48% or less win rate this entire edition, where other armies have been on like 60 plus for this edition. And so only now they're coming down to like 55% win rate, you know? So like, I don't think Vanguard Veterans needed to go up. Unless no, I don't agree with this change. I really don't. Okay, Venerable Dreadnought, again, firstborn unit, so it's been deprioritized. Sad, we're just going to see none of these on the table. Veteran Intercessors, this was always a strange unit. I don't think anyone runs them ever. I don't think dropping them 2 points per model makes them any more attractive. How much are Intercessors now? They're down to 18. I mean, if you want Intercessors, just run Intercessors. Why take an elite slot for an Intercessor with 1 more attack? Intercessors are generally not a good unit. They don't do enough damage. It's a troop unit. Giving it 1 more attack doesn't help. It's still a troop unit. Okay. Assault squads, no changes. Attack bikes. Multi-meltas are now free. Okay, so 3 attack bikes going down 150 points if you're running with multi-meltas. However, if you run them in a bike squad, as in Because the bike squad can take one attack bike that can have a multi-melta, then it's 10 points. I think. I don't run bike squads myself, but that's the C. Inceptors, 40 points, but no Wargear mentioned. So your Bolter Inceptors are the same points as the Plasma Inceptors. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but I guess what it means is Plasma Inceptors might... People will play Plasma Inceptors again. The Bolter Inceptors, if you got them, then you just tough. They're just going to be an off... They're just going to be a bad pick, I guess, for the points cost. They should have done Inceptors 30 points per model, plus 10 points for each plasma or something. That would have been 2 seconds to fix. It makes no sense at the same cost. I like the Bolter Inceptors. I think they were decent in Tactical Doctrine. They're a good unit for, like, engage or behind enemy lines or something like that. I guess if you want to run plasma, that's fine. Just... It sucks if you spent time painting the Bolter ones, because you just need to go out and buy Plasma Inceptors now. Okay. Invader ATVs. I never run Invader ATVs. I've never actually bought any. I do want to buy some, but I think they need some improvements in the rules. They've gone down 10 points. I think that makes no difference. None of the land speeders changed, but again, no mention of Wargear. So I guess multi-meltas on land speeders are now free. So take... And I guess the problem with running the tornadoes is, well, no one ran tornadoes because the assault cannon was like 15 points. So now I guess you could run a land speeder tornado. That would not actually be bad because... well, it wasn't 15 points. It was 10 points more, and it got to 85 points if you ran it with the assault cannon multi-melt. I guess the tornado could be run now. It's the same price as the old one before. Outriders, finally! Wow! I've been saying that they are junk for the longest time. They went down 10 points, which is actually, comparatively, because only 45 points a model, a big jump. So, 3 of them before would have been 135 points. They're now 105 points. I don't hate them at 105 points. They are toughness 5. They do have a good 14-inch move. Sucks that, like, Votan's bikes got... obsec on them. That would be nice. That would maybe help them get a bit more play. But anyway, Outriders went down in points. Scout bikes got no changes. All 3 of the speeders got a little bit of a drop. I'm not sure though that all these drops, if every unit that was about 100 points has dropped 10, give or take, right? So if everything's dropped 10 points, like the Thunderstrike used to be the Hammer Strike used to be 145. It's now 125. So these look like they've gone down 20 points each. The Hail Strike used to be 125. Oh, it's only gone down 10. And the Thunderstrike, I think, must be the most expensive one. It used to be 150. It's gone down 15. So the one that's come off the best is the Hammer Strike, which is the one I actually like the most, I think, because the Hammer Strike's the one that has basically the Melta Destroyer, which is a 3-shot multi-melta, and the 36-inch damage 3 missiles. But I guess my question is, like, is dropping these, like, it almost seems like Space Marines have dropped 10% from what I've seen so far. When we'll continue here, there's a few things to look at. If we've dropped 10%, but Armor of Contempt is taken away and probably Armor of Contempt added like 10%, then I don't actually see there being much changes here. Like, Space Marines, you're going to have a few more units, but you're going to die a bit quicker. So I don't see how that's going to change our 48% win rate at all. I could be wrong, and I have been wrong before, but this is just my 2 cents. Okay, what else we got? Suppressors are down 10 points to 90 points per model. I mean, it doesn't fix the problem with the suppressors in that their weapons are heavy, so you can't move them and shoot them without taking minus to hit, and then there's no point having them. So I think suppressors are still not going to see much play. Centurion Devastator squads. These many guys have gone down a lot. I thought they'd gone down. No, they've gone up. From 55 per model to 70? I mean, maybe there's some play that I don't know about with Centurion Devastator squads, but they don't have core. So I mean, you never run them as Blood Angels. Regular Devastator squads, I guess they've gone up because their Wargear is free now. So maybe actually, realistically, they've gone down 10 points per model. If every model had like 2 heavy bolters and 2 las cannons, yes, okay, that actually drops them a lot. Because if every model had 2 las cannons and 2 heavy bolters, then you'd be looking at like I don't know, you'd have to pay 50 points. So actually, yeah, these guys have gone down from about 107 to 70. So maybe some shooting armies will see Centurion Devastators as a bit better, but they still don't have core, which I think is a big problem. Unless, of course, you're Ultramarines, because Gilliman's aura is so old, it's still from 8th edition and doesn't mention core. So maybe there's still some play around Gilliman and Centurion Devastators. Regular Devastators have gone up in cost, but looks like the Wargear again will be free. Devastators were 18 points per model, so they're now up 5 per model. But all the weapons except multi-meltas are free, and multi-meltas are just 10. I was going to say, so I guess like if you had a whole squad of heavy flamers, you're down a few points. But realistically, what you probably had was a whole squad of multi-meltas. So the whole, because let's face it, all the other marine like missile launchers are too random with d6 damage. Las cannons are too random with d6 damage. You maybe have gone grav cannons. So maybe if you went grav cannons, your unit went down basically like 25 points. If you went multi-meltas, your unit went down. It would have been, I'm just going to do the math. It would have been 18 times 5 plus 4 multi-meltas would have been another 80. So it would have been 170 to run the squad with 4 multi-meltas, whereas now it would be 155, and a grav cannons would take a similar reduction. So it's about a 10% drop. Okay, Eliminator's no change. Eradicator's no change. Again, seeing units get no change is strange when you've taken away Armor of Contempt. So you've made Eliminators considerably worse. You've made Eradicators considerably worse. No one runs the Fire Strike Servo turret, but finally, I guess the las cannon variant of it, which again nobody ran because it was so expensive. It used to be 110 points. So I suppose you could run a Fire Strike Servo cannon with the las cannon now, maybe at 80 points. It does a 4-shot las cannon, but again it's las cannon on d6, so it's random. Gladiators. I've been saying for a while that the Gladiators are too expensive. I know that the Reaper was 180, so it went down basically 20%. I know the Valiant was 200, so it went down to 170, and the Lancer was 145, down 20 points. Interesting. I still don't. Maybe there's a play now for a couple of, like, you could take 2 Gladiator Reapers, it's only 300 points, or you could take 2 Gladiator Valiants, they're only 340 points. Like, I guess that's cool. But still, I mean, no Armor of Contempt, no Invulnerable Save make these things really weak. And I guess if you hit these things now with -4, then there's just no save on them. So if enemies have multi-meltas, it feels really... I mean, the same thing goes for the Redemptor. No changes on the Redemptor, but if the Redemptor gets hit with multi-meltas now, no save. I guess it brings back maybe some play around like a Psychic Fortress again, but I don't know. I don't love it. Hellblasters, finally, they were 35 points, or 33 points per model, because it used to be 160. So they got a 10% drop. Now 150 for 5 Hellblasters. I guess that's okay, but like 150 for 5 Hellblasters, they're going to get less shots than the Hellblasters with Assault Plasmas are Assault 3, so you're going to get 15 shots, Strength 7, -4, 2 damage if you overcharge. Whereas like Inceptors, so you got 15 shots. Inceptors are actually Strength 8, they're -3 I guess, so 1 less AP but 1 more Strength. And potentially as long as you shoot a unit with 6, then you're getting 18 shots, and they're only 120 points now. So Hellblasters, although they come down, they're still left in a weird sort of limbo state where they're less good than Incept. Like, I can see no reason why you would take these guys over Inceptors. The Hellblasters have 1 more wound, but 1 less toughness. So it's like toughness 4, 10 wounds on this unit against toughness 5, 9 wounds on the unit. Hellblasters will still see very little / no play. I've painted those Hellblasters that came out with like Dark Imperium like 3 years ago, and I'm still waiting for a game where I'm still waiting for a time that they could be They could be fielded. Again, Hunters had no change. The Land Raiders getting no change seems really strange, because Land Raiders were already not playable in Armor of Contempt. Even with Armor of Contempt, it was still almost too risky to spend 245 points on a unit that would basically only get to save on 6s or something like that. Yeah, I can't see Land Raiders getting any play whatsoever. Predator Annihilators. These guys currently get no play. Is this going to give them any play? They kept them at 115 points. They gave their las cannons. They took them down 10 points. However, the heavy bolters are still grossly overcosted. Oh no, heavy bolters will be free now. Okay, let me think for a second. So Predator Annihilator with the twin link las cannon on top, and then 2 las cannons of sponsons will have gone from 155 to 135. That's not as bad as I thought. Predators see no play right now. Will this make them see any play? They're only strength 7. They only have 11 wounds, or toughness 7, 11 wounds. They have no invulnerable save. I'm not sure this is going to see them get much more play, but I mean, I've been saying for a while, Predators are just trash. If you compare them to a Plague Burst Crawler, it'd be interesting to see what cost the Plague Burst Crawler is now, actually. They're trash. I did a video on that before. Okay, Predator Destructor, and this is the one with the actual Predator autocannon, which it's been so long since I fielded it. It's heavy 2d3, strength 7, -1, 3 damage. Again, the las cannons are cheaper on the sponsons, so it's gone from 170 points to 150. Still think there's going to be better choices to take, unfortunately. Repulsor. Strange that all the Repulsor got the points drops, but the Land Raiders didn't. This is just favoritism on the new models. Repulsor went down 50 points. That's a big jump, but I guess comparatively, because it's such an expensive unit, it's about 20%. So some things came down 20%, some things came down nothing, some things came down 10%. I think this is going to skew. This is going to create like skew lists. I'm 100% sure. Anyway, so the Repulsor came down, and all its weapons are now free. So like the Twin Las Cannon is free, the Las Talons are free, the Onslaught Gatling Cannon is free. So actually the Repulsor probably came down like 30%. I'm looking at it thinking like, will I field the Repulsor? Like, what can you put in a Repulsor? You can put 10 Primaris models in there, right? And you can put Gravis. Nothing else transports Gravis. No one ever runs it. Maybe you could put your 5-man aggressor squad in a Repulsor. The thing about the Repulsor is it's still got that 3-up save, so the second you hit it with multi-meltas, there's no save. I really think that, they did it for other factions. Like Admech or Sisters get these like 6-up invulnerable saves. I think that Space Marines should have that. Like, there should never be we're the champions of mankind, the heroes of humanity. Why is there situations where we get no save? Shouldn't we just have a 6-up invulnerable save? I mean, we're wearing fucking power armor. We save against las cannons, and I don't know. Maybe that helps balance Marines. I mean, they haven't got Marines balanced yet, and I don't want to be bitter about 48% win rate, but it's been 2+ years we've been playing at less than a 50% win rate. Alright, Stalkers, Thunderfire Cannons, Vindicators, and Whirlwinds. None of these things changed, unfortunately. I guess because they're firstborn. That sucks. I would have liked to see a reduction on the Whirlwind. I mean, if anyone plays a Whirlwind, then they'll know that this unit literally does no damage now with the indirect fire changes. Like, nothing. Like, if it kills, let's say, 3 if it survives the whole game and shoots every turn, and it kills, let's say, 5 Poxwalkers, then that's actually a good game for it. Like, it kills nothing. It's literally just needed for suppression fire if you want it. I would like to see that drop. Drop pods, no change. Impulsors did get a drop, and I did say that I wanted them to get a drop, and I guess they can get an invulnerable save, so maybe there's a play around the Repulsor. I guess the Shield Dome will be free. So an Impulsor with a Shield Dome before used to be 125 points. That's now 100. Maybe there's some play here where you could have Impulsor with Blade Guard veterans in it. Unfortunately, it didn't go down in cost, and a Repulsor with aggressors in it. Landspeeder Storm, no change. Razorback, no change. Rhino, no change. All the flyers, no change. And then the Hammerfall Bunker. Oh, I mean, why are we changing the points cost on the Hammerfall Bunker, but we're not changing it on literally flyers that get no play? If you wanted to know, the Hammerfall Bunker was 175, it's now 100. Okay, I mean, if you want a Hammerfall Bunker that basically has a Cyclone Missile Launcher on it with D6 damage for 100 points. I mean, it doesn't sound... I mean, it's fine now. There could be some... I mean, you could put that down for 100 points and it's just a distraction. I mean, that's fine. It's probably okay, actually. But, like, come on. Give some of the stuff that gets no play or very little play or is needed reductions. I don't know. Blood Angels, okay. This is the other important thing. Astrath, no change. Corbolo, who gets no play, no change. Tycho, who gets no play, no change. Mephisto, who gets a little bit of play, he's down from 145 to 125. I think that possibly starts making... Sorry, it was 140? 125. I think that sort of possibly starts making him competitive. We still have problems with his pistol on an overcharge will kill him. Like, you know, fix that. But I guess that's something. Dante did not get a change, even though the Chapter Master got a change. So, like, your Chapter Master on the bike now with a Thunderhammer is 150 points. Dante is 165 points. I already complained that I don't think Dante's good at 165. But, yeah, I mean, for me, I'll literally never feel Dante now. If my Chapter Master with a Thunderhammer is 15 points less and more survivable, and I can pick his Warlord traits to help, like Rites of War or whatever. Gabriel Seth, Flesh Tearers may be happy, I'm not sure. I think the thing to say about Gabriel Seth is I think he's going to be cool in boarding actions, right? Because boarding actions is like inside the ships and you know, not having a jump pack is actually a good thing. You can't take units with a jump pack in boarding action. So Gabriel Seth was 145. So he's probably pretty decent now at 130. I mean, he's already got a cool aura and he can attack twice. So yeah, I like Seth at 130. Lamarta's no change. Librarian Dreadnought. Seems strange it got no change when Mephisto got such a big change, because now, if the argument before was like the Librarian Dreadnought versus Mephisto, I guess the Librarian Dreadnought's Meltagun is now free. I think Mephisto is probably just the better choice overall. The Sanguinary Priest, nothing changed. The Sanguiner, nothing changed. He has no play at the moment. Unfortunately, I used to love the Sanguiner. He used to be my Warlord in every game, and now he gets no play. I think I said before he's too expensive, and his Warlord trait needs change to like Speed of the Primarch. It would make so much more sense. Tycho the Lost gets no play, but I think there maybe is some play around Tycho the Lost. I made a list with him just like a month ago, so maybe there's something there. Death Company Marines, and I've been saying for a while that everyone's spamming the crap out the Death Company Marines. However, jump packs haven't changed. Death Company Marines have gone up 2 points per model, but Thunderhammers have come down 5 points per model. Power Fists have also come down 5 points per model. So basically what that means is your squad of Death Company that had like Infernal Pistols and Power Swords will have gone up 10 points. But your squad of Death Company that had 4 Thunderhammers, let me just make sure I get the math right. 4 Thunderhammers before, it would have been 18 plus 15, so it would have been 35 times 5 plus 1 regular guy with a jump pack. So it used to be 185 for your 4 Thunderhammers and a regular guy. You'd now be 23 plus 10 times 4. 132 plus a regular guy. 23. I think I've added that wrong. I made a list yesterday. Yeah, so your squad that was like 5 infernal pistols and power swords will have gone up 10 points, and your squad that was the 4 thunderhammers and 1 guy with a chainsaw and a bolt pistol will have gone down 10 points. So I guess if you're running 2 squads of Death Company with the thunderhammers and 1 with an infernal pistol, which seem to be quite common, then you're looking at your 10 points less in terms of your Death Company. But Death Company have now lost survivability. They don't really survive anyway, do they? They just jump in and try and kill. But they have lost survivability, so the 10-man Death Company becomes even less viable. I don't recommend a 10-man, I recommend the 3 5s. Death Company Dreadnought gets literally no play. It's still, I guess it's Wargear has become free, so that is something. You used to have to pay for the Blood Talons, which would be basically 10 points. You used to have to pay for the Meltagun and the Flamer or the Double Flamer. So yeah, maybe it's come down a little bit. I guess you could take a Magna Grapple for free as well. So if the enemy tries to fall back, you roll against their strength and you can prevent them falling back. So Death Company Dreadnought did get a little bit of a buff. Death Company Intercessors, I think we might see Death Company Intercessors in boarding actions. They have dropped 2 points per model. So regular Intercessors are now, what was that, 17 per model? Oh, they're the exact same point as regular Intercessors. So I guess on the new detachment, if you get to a point at the end where you've already got troops and you feel happy, you could just field your Assault Intercessors as Death Company Intercessors if you just want them to get that feel no pain and the extra attack. Furioso Dreadnought used to be able to take like frag cannons and stuff. I guess I maybe was overcritical of some of these other Dreadnoughts that didn't get points dropped, because you may be able to put like a missile launcher or a multi-melt on them for free. So there's that. The Sangre Ancient, I guess his Wargear is free now. So if you have one that has an Infernal Pistol, then by all means put it on. You get a free Infernal Pistol or a Plasma Pistol if you prefer that. Sangre Guard, Infernal Pistols, I guess, are free now. So that's interesting. And I guess Power Fists are free. Oh shit, and Plasma Pistols are free. Alright, so I was going to be overly critical about the Sangard. Maybe I can field my Plasma Pistol Power Fist guy for the first guy in the first time in forever. Man, I got loads of those old ones with the crappy weapon options. I was actually going to say, I think I have loads of Death Company Marines with hand flamers as well, actually. I guess there's a bunch of weapon options there. Power Axes. Hold on, Power Swords are not mentioned. Infernal Pistols are not mentioned. Oh crap, okay. So your Infernal Pistol Power Sword squad just dropped massively, actually. Like 50 points. Okay, yeah. Bring out all your old Death Company with all the random ass weapon options that aren't listed here. And there's a lot, because I know myself that I have a lot. What would be there? You could have hand flamers, you could have infernal pistols, you could have plasma pistols, you could have power axes, you could have power fists, you could have power mauls, you could have power swords. All these things are free. So all those old random Death Company models, yes, the Death Company have lost some survivability, but there's some bonuses in here for sure. And the Sangre Guard, yeah, I mean, why not? Run some Sangre Guard with power fists. They get +1 to hit if they're near the Warlord. In my case, I often maybe even give them Chapter Master rerolls, or I'm in range of the Warlord, so I'm getting like reroll 1s. So you'll have Power Fist hitting on 3s, rerolling everything and rerolling 1s, and then that'll really help with some of your wound rolls. And also Power Fists on Sangard have good AP. It's been so long since I ran them, but they are -3, same as the Incarmite swords, and you will be hitting on Strength 8 with +1 to wounds, so interesting. The Lost upgrades and Lieutenant upgrades didn't change here, and the Baal Predator got his Wargear for free. Does that mean we can run a Baal Predator? What did we used to have to pay? We used to have to pay 15 points per sponson and 10 points for the assault cannon. So I guess a Baal Predator with 2 heavy bolters and an assault cannon dropped from 150 to 110. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, that's one of the biggest drops. that we've seen here, actually, probably like 150 down to 110. That's like a 30% drop. And I guess if you went Flamestorm and Flamers, again, it went from like 140 to 110. Could there be 3 Ball Predators on someone's table or in someone's list? Okay, does this also include Forge World? It's my question. Forge World. Yes. Is there any changes? No. No. Nothing is mentioned as like red, unfortunately. So probably your twin Volkites are still 175 points. Your Lord of War Astreus, you're still paying for the extra weapons. The Falchion, you're still paying for the extra weapons. Okay. So we've discussed this a few times, that Games Workshop have been neglecting or not loving the Forge World units in 9th edition. A lot of them didn't get the greatest rules. A lot of them didn't get the points cost. They have had some points changes and reductions in previous balanced data slates, but it seems like they are a low priority for GW. So yeah, obviously you can check out all the rest of the stuff. I am not going to do that. That covers most of the Space Marine stuff. We're planning a live stream of this over on our podcast channel, The Three Grots. So if you want to check it out and come and ask questions live, then that would be cool. Obviously, you can leave questions in the comments down below and I will do my best to answer them. Or I've probably made a mistake because there's a million different things to go over. I just wanted to give a quick overview. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was of some use. I guess until we get the pre-order for the new book goes up on Saturday. Remember, I did say that if you buy it through Element Games, every purchase of the new book helps support the channel, and there is a link in the video description to my Element Games affiliate link, so please consider using that. I'm John, the Blood Angels Commander, and I do Blood Angels content every week here on YouTube. If you've enjoyed today's video, or you feel like you got some value out of it, hit that like button. It really does help me out. I appreciate it so much. I will catch you guys in the next video, which I think is going to be a live battle tomorrow. Then we got live streaming, painting on Saturday night. And maybe I'm going to be painting all the random ass Death Company models. There's definitely going to be some things in here. Sternguard Veterans look like a real interesting one in that they've got no costs. Thunderhammer Terminators, again, look like they're going to be real interesting. And yeah, until we see what our secondary is. The rumour is that the Blood Angel secondary is going to be Death from Above. We're going to lose all the other secondaries and we're going to get Death from Above. So if we do get Death from Above, maybe 3 squads of Terminators, based on the fact they're all like 165 points. 3 squads of Terminators deep striking in might be a new play. So you could have like Sangry Guard and Death Company on the board, Terminators in reserve. Obviously, who knows? There's going to be tons more videos coming out about Ark of Omen. If there's something you really want to see, you can leave it in the comments. I'll catch you in the next video, brothers. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. By the blood are we made strong.